Oh, yeah, it's the sweet, sweet sounds of another episode of Social Distance Drinking Club. Thank you guys for joining us today. We've got a very special guest, Mr. Dorian Lenz, who is a co-owner of Cheba Hut, Arizona, and co-director, alongside his wife, Chrissy Lenz, who could not be with us today, of National Comedy Theater Phoenix, which near and dear to my heart, and the first place that I was a cast member of doing improv. But we are here. And that's a thing we can't do right now because screw you, COVID. Screw you. And just in time to join us, Mr. Brett Barry is here. As always, everybody, tell us what you're drinking in the comments. And ooh, that's my voice. I heard it. We'll go around the room and see what everybody else is drinking. Mr. Adam Ledford, what you got?
I'm rocking the Tombstone Light, good old T-Stone Light. And it's a lager, so I figured the good old-fashioned Hofbrauhaus Stein would be a good way to drink it.
It is the season for a Stein. Who came up with T-Stone Light? I love it. I think it's great. Somebody sent me a message.
I'm never letting it go.
It's so good.
Synchronized pointing there too. Like you did this at the same time I did this, and I think it worked.
That guy, Brett Barry. You joined last, but you go next. What you got?
Figure it's approaching time that I need to get this cleared out of the fridge, so I've got my Wally in the gang.
Nice. Had a good pour.
I had that on deck, Brett.
I might still have a can, but otherwise I think I did the same thing not long ago. And I feel like we're in a good spot when something like Wally in the gang is I must clear this out of the fridge, so I'm going to drink this. Like, if that's the bottom of the barrel, what you have right now, you're doing well.
Sam Fraser came to my house to drop some stuff off because he's our favorite beer mule. And he looked at my fridge and asked me if everything was okay because I don't have enough beer, apparently. that's where I'm at.
He does not have that question for me. he more says, "Are you okay? You have so much fucking beer in your fridge."
Well, it's a trap for you because you are walking distance essentially to both Wren House and Tortoise. It's a long walk to Wren House, but you're close.
I've debated putting one of those gambling hotline stickers on the outside of my beer fridge because I feel like that's all it is at this point.
I think there's an AA hotline, or like, are you buying too much beer and not drinking it?
that's the real problem.
It's just my phone number. Like, do you have too much beer that you're not drinking? Call Yusuf. I will help you. Adam Green, what you got?
A little Stoneface Brewing double clip.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Stoneface Brewing. I was not, but this arrived at my doorstep a couple weekends ago, and I'm enjoying this immensely.
The beer stork dropped it off?
Yeah, it was great. Also dropped off a baby, but I left that out there.
The stork dropped off a baby, and Adam was like, "Am I like supposed to age this? Or what do I do with this?
Do I stick it in the fridge? Does it go in the cabinet? Does it need to be consumed fresh? Or no, those are the ones you get off of Wayfair. I'm sorry, my bad.
Or in a cool, dark place.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with all these babies in my baby basement. I'm running out of room.
We're 4 minutes into the show and it's off the rails, guys. Thank you.
New record?
Possibly.
100%.
Fun story. Sorry, go ahead.
You're fine. I'm drinking the last of my few last Masking You Nicely's, which, if you guys don't know, was our collab with Tombstone. It's even got our logo on it right here. So it is called I'm Masking You Nicely. Puns are great.
That's great. Fun story about Stoneface Brewing. A couple of friends of mine, they watch the show every once in a while. Steve and Jeanette, if you're watching, but they occasionally put fresh beer from New England into the teleporter that then shows up in my house in a totally legal way.
Yes, the legal teleportation device.
But they live just like right down the street from Stoneface, so they sent me a couple things here and there, and it's a good little brewery. Like, they do nice stuff. Garrison City is also in that area, and they make excellent hazy IPAs.
Okay, no, I mean, this is good. I've never heard of them, and yeah, the beer stork who did drop this off just kind of randomly, like didn't ask for it, just kind of showed up as, in a box, legally, of course.
Yes.
And there's certain beers when you get like, I'm excited to drink this because I know this brewery, or it's just a style that you really like. This one, I'm like, it's an IPA. It's kind of boozy. I think it was like 7.8% for a bread I never heard of. So I'm like, I'm excited to try this, and it's delicious. So
this tastes so much better right now because it tastes like, what is it? Oh, victory. That's right. That's what it tastes like. Victory. I'm glad I've gathered you all here since on Sunday during our halftime show, you guys all took the Cowboys and I took the Rams. Yeah. I see that Adam ran away quickly because he now owes me a 4-pack of beer. And so do you. And so do you, Brett.
Oh, hey, guys, my internet cut out. What did I miss?
Are you at Yusuf's house? Is that where your internet cut out?
We missed the fact that even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again.
Let's see if I can run a hot streak because we're going to do it again on Sunday, and we're just going to pick them. I'm in.
Hell yeah, we are.
I can't wait to fill up my fridge with delicious victory. That's it.
That's a beer, right? Called Victory? Who makes that?
I don't know. There is a Victory Brewing Company. Don't buy me any of that. I want other stuff.
Well, you said I was Victory. We can do that for you.
Okay.
Yusuf, I was thinking this is a perfect opportunity. I have a couple of those fancy pants seltzers that you can't get locally that you would appreciate more than most. That Ty brought back me 2 of them. I've only had one of them, and I want to have one of each, but I can probably spare the other ones, and you'll probably appreciate them as much, or more likely, much more than I would.
Like I said, I'd like some Trillium, some Treehouse. If you could get some Answer for me, that'd be great.
He's like, can I get some non-distro hops that are fresh?
I want to pop over to the comments. PJ's joining us.
The Beer Stork. You might be able to get those.
The Beer Stork. PJ's joining us, drinking some Rocktoberfest. We are in the season. We need to do something Oktoberfesty soon.
Oktoberfest. I haven't had any yet.
He's been traveling like crazy. He's in Manchester, New Hampshire. What's up?
His job has him traveling like crazy, though.
What's that?
His job has him traveling like crazy. Like that's
which is great.
His job is traveling.
Yeah. So not really news when Ty is in like another location. No.
And there's Sam Fraser himself, because apparently they're hanging out together. It's an almanac kind of night. Don't brag, buddy. We'll end the show early and run right over. Don't you brag.
I'm pretty sure Sam Fraser went to Sushi Holic. He sent me a picture of the big lobster roll, which is the best $13 you're going to spend on a dish, in my opinion, in Phoenix.
It is good.
That's really good.
I had every intention, because of our guest and the fact that I might have had the munchies, to go to Cheba Hut and grab a sandwich before the show at what Adam would call a normal dinner time. But I didn't. And I feel bad. And so now I'm craving Cheba Hut. And I want to find out if they deliver, because I haven't looked. Which leads us to our guest, Mr. Dorian Lenz. Dorian.
Hey, everybody. Hello.
Hey, what's up, bud?
Hello.
We do deliver, not ourselves, but we're partnered with DoorDash. So you can either order through DoorDash directly, or we have our own like native app now at ChebaHut.com. You can download it on your phone, and DoorDash will deliver it through the app. So, yeah.
It's not open up DoorDash and also send DoorDash an invoice for this free promo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's discuss offsets.
So Dorian, you're a man of many hats. Obviously, I've known you years, guys. Dorian is the director of National Comedy Theater Phoenix, as well as co-owner of the Arizona Cheba Huts. I met him when I started doing improv after college. So you're juggling right now, and both businesses were clearly affected by COVID.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Well, we'll start with Cheba Hut, because you guys had just opened a brand new location in my favorite neighborhood of downtown Chandler.
Yeah, we opened late December was our kind of opening week, and it was just starting to get going there when everything started to fall apart all around us. So we're right now we're kind of at pickup. We're calling it curbside service right now. So you can order online. You can walk up and order from the stores. Easiest way to do it is just like order online and come pick it up, or get food delivered from DoorDash. But we're probably going to we're opening our lobbies up in the next 30 days so people can come back in and pick up their food. Just trying to make sure we keep our employees safe,
Good on you for that.
Thank you.
Definitely. And I know earlier you had mentioned one of the hard parts was that you guys had so many people that had to be let go, obviously with the restaurants being closed for a little while and things like that. You guys having trouble bringing people back in to come to work?
Well, we've had staffing issues on and off since this started. Either people that were, just deciding that they were too afraid to work. Unfortunately, like our bartending staff, that's kind of where we got hit the hardest. We were able to keep most of our staff on, but most of the time, like bartenders, we said, hey, we can't serve here in the shop anyway, so you can slide over and make sandwiches if you want to. But there wasn't not necessarily a lot of takers there, which is totally understandable. So we're kind of working towards it, getting back into the groove and adding more people back on. But it is a bit of a slower process right now.
Wasn't The Sandwich Artist like a book or a movie or something?
Is it?
I don't know.
Isn't that a disaster artist?
I immediately thought of Sandwich Artist, and I was thinking to myself, like the bartender mixologist.
Oh, everyone who works at Subway was considered a sandwich artist.
Oh, right.
I was gonna say, wasn't that Adam Green's suggested episode title when he made a grilled cheese sandwich?
Sandwich savant.
Right.
Sandwich savant.
Sandwich idiot savant.
I feel like somebody who can comment has got to be able to research and tell us this, but I feel like Jack Black has had at least one movie where he played a character who was a sandwich artist as part of his job. Maybe the one with Gwyneth Paltrow, maybe the one where they were obsessed with the guy who sang Sweet Caroline, whose name I should know and do but can't remember. Neil Diamond.
The actual singer, Neil Diamond?
Yeah, that was a movie that he did with the kid from American Pie. It wasn't good, but I think that might have been.
I know what you're referring to. I've seen that movie, and it was terribly awful.
But nobody knows the name of this movie, and that says something.
Yeah, because it was like they all were in the Neil Diamond cover band, and they all were Neil Diamond.
School of Rock?
Yes. No.
No.
It was
Land Before Time?
Yeah, that was it.
The Jumanji remake. The remake of Jumanji.
That's the one. Yes. At some point in the jungle, he was making palm frond sandwiches.
Yeah.
They were phenomenal. So the question now is, who's like, we've all been to Cheba Hut, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
No?
What was that, Green?
I don't think I've ever been, and I'm looking him up, and you guys.
Well, he's been a lot of fun to have on the show, but unfortunately, he's not here.
A bad Arizonan.
Unfortunate, he's never been to Cheba Hut. I don't know. What do you say, Dorian? We'll let him back in?
You know what, though? I guess so. It's fine. Not everybody has to have Cheba Hut. I have a very close friend of mine who is anti-sandwich in general. So,
no, I'm not anti-sandwich. No, like that. Who could be anti-sandwich?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
People that don't like their food touching, those kind of folk, or like people who don't like things mushed together.
Food segregationists. There's no room for that in 2020.
Are you talking about my 12-year-old niece?
Yeah, very close friend of mine.
PJ's got a comment on the movie that he thinks it was that we were talking about.
Adam Green.
Yes, it was Saving Silverman. Yeah,
not Saving Sarah Silverman. That's a person.
Saving Sarah Silverman.
Saving Sarah Silverman. That was it. Yes.
And also, he followed it up with only communists are anti-sandwich.
That's because sandwiches are like the perfect food, because a sandwich could be pretty much anything except for maybe a hot dog, I guess. I don't know. But sandwiches at their base could be anything delicious.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, it's how I make money.
Dorian, we didn't ask what you were drinking. I'm so sorry. What do you got?
I'm drinking vodka, red Round Rock vodka, which was on sale from Safeway, and I'm finishing it off with a key lime water.
Can you show us how it looks? Is it fancy? What are you drinking out of? What's the vessel?
I got a Lagunitas cup, so that'll do, right?
Yeah, that's good.
A vessel.
It's a fancy cocktail with key lime water. It's good.
Yeah. I was gonna come up with a funny mule name for it, but I don't have one.
Come up with one before the end of the show.
All right.
So Adam, I'm pretty sure Adam Green, we could convince everybody in the world that you're anti-sandwich, considering you are anti-pickle and anti-watermelon.
Oh boy.
But that's the point. I'm very vocal about the things I'm anti against. I don't hide it. I don't run from it. I'm anti-pickles on my sandwiches, yes, but I'm not anti-sandwiches.
I brought a pen and a notepad today to make things look official. I'm taking note of this.
All right.
Anti-pickles.
I think pickles on a sandwich mean the juices and everything. They just ruin everything else that's on the sandwich.
Well, make sure you order your Cheba Hut sandwich without the pickles on it.
I would definitely do that.
They come pretty standard.
So in this group with Brett who hates mustard, with Adam who hates pickles, and with Yusuf who doesn't necessarily hate pork, he just doesn't have many opportunities to hate pork. Mm-hmm. A Cuban sandwich is like the death of our entire show.
Yeah.
Like game over, no more show. Yeah.
You could set a Cuban on the table when we all finally do this live in person, and no one would know what to do. Just full on confusion.
We are actually more likely to go cannibal and eat an actual Cuban together than we are to eat a Cuban sandwich.
Unless there's pickles on said Cuban.
There are always pickles on a Cuban sandwich.
No, I mean the Cuban person.
Oh, yeah.
There's always pickles on the person when it's a Cuban sandwich with people too.
Hey guys, that's the second set of rails we fell off of.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
How did we end up with cannibalism? Thanks for joining us, guys, at Social Distance Drinking Club.
What was your first time trying Cheba Hut?
A free-flowing conversation. You talk about sandwiches, you end up in Cuban cannibalism. It makes total sense.
I mean, if we go cannibal, we're eating Adam Green. He's got bacon on as a topping right now.
John Miller says, such a great sandwich, too. I have tried it, I will admit. I didn't like it.
I agree. I love Cubans.
I get them without pickles, and it's not a Cuban, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
For the sake of context, in case someone just tuned in, I too love Cubans, just not the same. I'm totally fine. I'm okay with Cubans. There's no embargo at my house. We're good. Just let you guys know.
No quiero cubano.
I see that Spanish 102 has been going well for you.
It's going pretty good. Thanks for asking.
It's muy bueno.
It's muy bueno. Thank you, Brett.
All right. Well, other than Adam Green, let's share our first experiences at Cheba Hut, because mine was at the one across from Mesa Community College. But Adam Ledford, what was your first Cheba Hut experience?
No, hang on. If you're telling a Cheba Hut story, you also have to tell what degree of sobriety you were or were not when you had said sandwich, because that's a very important part of most first Cheba Hut stories.
Well, then we'll preface with this photo from what they couldn't do this year because the annual 420 event is usually a lot of fun. Yeah, how sober were you when you showed up to Cheba Hut the first time?
By the way, that's Herb Green, our mascot.
Is that the name of the mascot?
Yeah, his name is Herb Green,
No relation to Adam.
So
no,
sure
Adam Green, no.
Somewhere.
And he usually only comes out in the summertime or the wintertime because it's too hot in the summer.
I was so scared when you said only in the summertime. I'm like, what is this guy getting paid? Is the face inside of that suit not the same?
Actually, that picture that you just showed, I was inside of that costume that day. That was me getting paid nothing to be inside that.
Were you hotboxing in that costume?
100%. Yes.
Was-
Absolutely.
Was it from the other, or was it from the same 420 event?
No, this is different. This is a picture from our 420 event in Tucson. So we're at 7 restaurants now, and in the before times, we would have a 420 party at every one of our shops, and so that's from our Tucson location, which is right across from U of A.
And I'll pop that up one more time because these guys went to school in Tucson.
Mhm.
But I'm sure that they can share an experience from the first time they went to Cheba Hut. And I want to. I've never said this before, but guys, I would go to this event because it's a nice location.
That is the Cheba Hut I went to because I live near campus, and that I would go there fairly regularly. And I think it was the kind off the menu would be
Yes.
my standard order. But to answer Adam Ledford, I was very sober. I was a nice young undergrad, but I do recall going through the order and checking out, and they had brownies, and then they had brownies marked temp brownies, and I'm like, wait, what?
The Fruity Pebbles Rice Krispie treats, like the Fruity Pebble treats, are crack. They're so good. You guys still have those, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And what's great about our Fruity Pebble treats or any of our kind of like Rice Krispie treats is that, we always have our standard regular, but then we just kind of let employees like go to town, and figure it out and try all sorts of, some will stay on, some will try and be like, don't ever make that again.
What's the worst one ever made?
I think that it was a mixture of Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, and then I think somebody put pretzels in it, and we were just like, no.
Was that idea after somebody was hotboxing in the Herb Green costume?
It's possible. It's possible.
Pulls his arms out like, I got an idea.
That's one of those just because you can doesn't mean you should situations, I feel.
That is something that we say a lot. Yeah. You should.
I want to point out real quick, Bob Tuna on Twitch or Periscope is saying question mark. Yes, we feel the same way.
Absolutely. I'm just saying, Dorian, you seem like such a nice, like kind of mild-mannered guy, but I'm just imagining you just absolutely fucking flipping the table when somebody shows up with like the grape nut version of that.
Grape nuts.
Get out of here with that bullshit.
We
You don't like
have standards. Yeah, grape nuts is not one of the.
I picture him like.
choices.
I picture the fuck are these gumballs? Jesus Christ!
This treat will last you hours.
Yeah, it was the Metamucil grape nuts combo.
The Metamucil Mylanta Gumball Grape Nut crispy treat was so good.
No, the secret ingredient was throwing Nicorette on the top of it as a topping.
Good Lord, jeez.
Is that our next cooking show, guys? We create the worst Rice Krispie treat we can think of.
This sounds like a great show we could do with Dorian another time. I think it would be fun. We could make the worst Rice Krispie treat we could think of.
But that someone out there might actually like. Like, we can't just put random crap together and glue it together with marshmallows. We actually have to make something that someone out there probably will say, that's good. Just none of us.
That's a reasonable barometer, yeah.
Adam Green's just going to top his with bacon. And he'll probably...
No, that'd make it good.
That's fine.
I mean, that's actually sounds like a really good idea to put bacon on.
Bacon is cheat code. You put bacon in everything.
Wrap it in a bacon blanket,
Yeah.
Did you just say bacon is a cheat code?
Have you ever watched like Chopped or something? Anytime they're struggling, they're just like, we're going to throw bacon in this. And it's like, now it's good. Bacon is a cooking cheat code.
Yep.
It's rarely the wrong answer.
Beer name.
Bacon is a cheat code is definitely a beer name. I'm just thinking like, I made this stracciatella ice cream, chef, with bacon. And I thought about it and I'm like, it probably still would work. Damn it. It would still work. Here's watermelon and bacon. Shit, that works too.
I gotta do that. What the hell's wrong with you, Yusuf?
Bacon is a cheat code. Adam Ledford, you, I think, have a pretty good story of your first time at Cheba.
I do. So I was in Fort Collins, Colorado, at the Tap and Handle, not to be confused with Tucson's Fine Tap and Bottle. And we were drinking some great beers. And this was pretty quickly after recreational marijuana had been passed there, but nowhere else. And I just happened to be there with a buddy of mine. And so we're out on the porch. No, it was the timing was coincidental. I was always going to go after that law passed, but it just happened to be. I got there and somebody was like, "Oh my God, you're from out of state. Do you want to get high?" And I'm like, "Yes." I realized no one was coming for me and no one was looking at it. So we just got absolutely baked. And then my buddy was like, "We have to go to Cheba Hut." And I was like, that doesn't sound real. And so we walked down the street, we grabbed sandwiches. I think I had a White Widow.
Yes.
And even reading through the menu, I was just like, I kind of had that like disconnected from reality. It was hard to like suspend my disbelief because I'm like, there's no way this is an actual place where I can actually get sandwiches named this. But it blew my mind. We moved to Tucson shortly after because I had already come back and told my wife, I was like, I went to this amazing place. It's kind of like a unicorn, and it exists in Fort Collins and not in North Carolina. So I guess we're ass out of luck. And then like we found out like the next day that there was one in Tucson, and it was just like I can't even I don't even remember what I think I got like 3 sandwiches the first time I actually went to the one in Tucson because I was like, everybody needs to try these. But that was my first experience. I barely remember it if we're being honest, but I knew I liked what I saw.
Nice.
There is a photo of Herb Green on a horse that you said maybe.
And happy?
Oh it's a mural. So one of the things that Cheba Hut's really well known for, and they're in all of our shops across the country, is the murals. And this was our Chandler mural. It's just I love it so much. It's so cool.
I love the Chandler sign and like the angry face and the fact that he's smoking while his head is on fire. Like he's smoking while he's smoking.
Also, that horse is high as a motherfucker.
Is that horse high?
Look at those eyes.
That horse looks like it knows where it's going.
Yeah.
It's on a mission.
It was crossed with like a zebra and like a cheetah with the spots there, and that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, shout out to our mural artist Michael Lee, who's a local artist here in Arizona. He does all of our mural work, and he's amazing. And you're like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I want to put Herb on a horse, like old school, Easy Rider look. And I'm just like, yeah, do it. That sounds amazing.
I love it. Sweet.
But that's kind of like the brand you guys have, right? Like, I mean, I've never been, and that's one of my, all of a sudden, the last 20 minutes, one of my life's greatest regrets is I've never been to Cheba. I never knew. Yeah. But like, the names, the styles, I mean, that's kind of like the brand you guys have. It's just like people know what they're getting, and they love all of that.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely part of our brand, kind of the counterculture. But, I always say, and a lot of us say, is like, if it was just like the gimmicky marijuana theme, we wouldn't have been around as long as we are. But like our food is bomb, the food is amazing. And so we have a lot of fun with the theme. We have a lot of, tongue-in-cheek jokes and have a good time with it. But the food is for sure bomb. And it's interesting nowadays because, like 15 years ago 20 years ago when it started, obviously marijuana wasn't as socially acceptable as it is now. And it just feels like we've all just kind of grown into it,
Yeah.
I definitely, I think the first time I took a Cheba Hut sandwich to my mom, she was a little confused by the name and like the brand. But when I was at NCT, since Cheba Hut was literally half a mile away, I was home with sandwiches after our improv rehearsal practice all the time, and she loved it. And I say this: my mother does not eat takeout. She won't eat outside. She loves to cook. She'll take a Cheba Hut sandwich anytime.
Yeah.
without fail.
So I was in earshot, but I wasn't sure. I couldn't see the camera. When Adam was saying that thing looked an awful lot like a cross between a cheetah and a zebra, he wasn't saying that ironically, was he?
I hope not.
Okay. I'll give him a chance to validate himself, because if he actually missed the Cheba reference, I'm going to be so angry at him.
And, well, since we brought up NCT, for those of you who don't know, it's National Comedy Theater Phoenix. They're in, it's not in Phoenix, it's in Phoenix, the greater Phoenix area. They're now in downtown Mesa, right next to Chupacabra Tap Room, just across the way on that intersection from Cider Core. Great location off the light rail.
Yeah.
Damn it, do I miss doing comedy with you guys, Dorian?
And we miss having you. I was so excited to hear that you were back in town for an extended period of time. We're like, let's do shows.
That's what happened. Like, so when COVID first kind of became a thing, I came back for my last event at the beginning of March, and then immediately hit you guys up and said, hey, I'm back. Can I get back on stage? And I said yes. And out of nowhere, everything got shut down.
Yeah, man.
So thankfully, it was the birth of this. But you guys have started doing online stuff. Before I get to that, I want to show people it's a beautiful theater. The new is this the new location?
That's the new location. Yeah, that was a day show that we did. That's why it's so bright from the light in the front. But yeah, it's our new space. It's kind of a old church. It was an old church that we kind of converted into our theater. So it got gutted, and just a big open room. There's a bar at the front. It's gonna beer and wine. We do improvised comedy shows there. We host stand-up shows every once in a while. We do classes to teach people kind of the style of improvisation, and do all sorts of fun events.
You guys are doing
or dead.
You guys are doing online improv.
That is correct.
What days? And
So
where do we find it?
we're going to start in October back with break shows. We've kind of basically spent the summer like figuring out how to do everything the same way everybody else did. We were kind of doing like free online shows and just kind of testing like what we liked, what we didn't like with the, the online tools that are available to people. So we're going to be doing online shows on Friday and Saturday nights. You can get tickets on our website, which is nctphoenix.com, which Yusuf has just put there in the link. We're even getting ready to do something I don't think I've heard of anybody else doing, which is like online casting. We're doing an online audition for cast members. So
I meant to ask you about that. I want to. Here's the website, guys. You can go on there, see kind of the upcoming events.
Yeah.
Online improv auditions are right there.
Yeah.
And that's interesting because that's going to be different.
It is. But, one of the things that I think that we found with, obviously we can't be as physical as you would see it, improvisers being on stage. And for people that don't know, it's scenes. It's games and scenes that you do with other people. It's all made up based on we use audience suggestions. But the online setting makes you really focus more, I think. You're listening a lot more intently. You're doing a lot more work. This sounds nerdy, but you're doing a lot of work with your face and your voice. We kind of think it works pretty well. And I don't think it's going anywhere. I think this kind of like online show stuff is going to continue to occur even after things are opened back up again. It's really easy to access people and interact like this.
It's funny because from my industry of doing corporate events, we were having this conversation. Even when people start to get comfortable with, and this thing slows down, we can go into meeting rooms and hang out and spend days together traveling and, hundreds of people in a place or thousands.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be people who would rather stay at home in those situations.
Right.
So it becomes kind of a hybrid, right? Like there's no reason why you can't stream the show and pay for an online ticket and watch the show while other people are watching it live or something like
Right.
that. So,
Yeah, I don't think this, obviously it's going to evolve over time, but I don't think online stuff is going anywhere. I think we're just going to see more of it, and more of what you said, Yusuf, which would be more of a hybrid of both.
So what do you? Has anyone else done an online audition that you've heard from? I'm super curious.
I am not. Huh?
I'm nerding out now because I'm just like,
yeah. No, I haven't heard about anybody else doing, like, there's been online improv classes and online shows, but I haven't heard of anybody else doing kind of like an online audition like this. So we'll see. Hopefully it goes. I think it's going to go well. It's going to be fun.
See, the online audition sounds really great to me because I'm old and have bad knees, and I can sit here and be wry and clever, and I don't have to really move.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fair point.
I tried to. I think I did one with Ahmed Ahmed a while back, and then it's just so, for me it's different because we feed off the energy of other people when we're doing shows, right? So
yeah.
It's so weird to try and do an online show without having this laughter, or at least being able to look in the face and get any sort of even emotional feedback.
Yeah.
It's just so bizarre, but you guys have done it well.
What's that?
You guys have done it well.
Oh, thanks, man. I think that like we've tried to, just as little as like, if there's a show with 5 or 6 people, and maybe there's only 2 people on the screen, just leaving people's mics on so you can hear them laughing if they laugh, is just that little taste. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will admit that it's not my favorite thing. I would much rather do a live performance as a performer, but I'll take it.
I have a question for you, Dorian, and Yusuf as well. Like, raises an interesting question to me, because like, how much more confidence does a performer need to have in an online setting in what they're doing when they don't have that ability to kind of read people's body language or reactions, or hear even like a little bit of a chuckle to kind of play off of?
Yeah.
Like, I know I've played some music stuff like remotely, and it's like I just have to kind of go into my own little place and assume that hopefully it sounds good, but I don't know, right? I'm curious to know what you guys think about that in terms of like an online environment versus a live performance.
That's hard. It's hard to answer. I don't know if it's more about confidence or like just, I think
on the spot.
Yeah. I think for me, the way that I can answer that is that it's never really been about like, well, that's not true. It is about getting those laughs. But there's a piece of you who, when you're focusing, especially with improv, because you're focusing on your partner, right? So you're trying to be like in the moment and work with your partner. There's a piece of like not getting that laugh that is probably more helpful, because on stage, I know that if I say something, there's a point at which I would assume the thing that I said should get a laugh, and if it doesn't, I can hear it in the back of my mind and go, no, Whereas in the online environment, I'm not going to get it. So I'm really more focused on just making sure I engage and look at it from that point of view. What do you think, Yusuf?
Well, I mean, I haven't had a chance to do much with you guys other than the one show that you guys allowed me to do the monologue for. But in general, the thing that I would be most worried about is just carrying group mind without being around somebody else, right? Because group mind is the baseline for us. We need to know each other and feel each other's energy and see what people are thinking and feeling the same way we're doing with the audience. I just think it's harder to do online, to like mentally connect and try to read somebody's mind. And
right.
Then that, believe it or not, even if it's like a 1 second delay, I think it would really F things up. Like there's a chance you're going to end up crushing someone else's idea right as they're about to deliver it or something like that.
Right. But I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say comedy is all about timing.
But I mean, I would assume that you guys probably feel that too, right? You guys have been doing these shows for a long time together. You can kind of feel it when the flow is good or when it feels choppy or whatever. You know, I mean, the same is definitely. I mean, there's obviously like learning curves. Like you got to be more cognizant in this setting of stepping on top of somebody talking because it messes up the whole sound thing, right? So, I think it's just like a different thing. You know, it's going to be like a different thing. It's not a we were talking about this the other day. It's like, cause we're also doing classes. We're teaching people the skills, the improv skills that we teach. And it's like, well, we're no longer teaching you improv for the stage. You know, we're now teaching you improv for this setting. Right. So, all of that will apply when you move to that, point of view. But now, we're focusing more on these little aspects. I'm not focusing on your stage presence anymore, because the presence is right here, you know. So
Yeah.
Just do a whole class on killing it in your Zoom meetings with comedy. There's a good example of it.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I was telling Yusuf this earlier. I'm really having trouble with my hands right now because I'm used to being on Zoom, and this is the right. So I was literally just trying to adjust my hair.
and you're doing it with this, and I've done it a million times. Somebody caught me on it on a previous show because they were like, "You definitely went for the wrong side of that curl." I was like, oh, damn it.
It's like, damn it, I had an itch on the other side of my head.
Well, you've got online improv classes. Before we go to just a casual convo here, I want to point that out. It is still nctphoenix.com, and I will show everybody real quick the page there because those are coming up.
We got them. They're ongoing classes. So you know, if you want to learn some of these, they're super useful for basically whatever you're doing in life because they're not just about performing; they're about listening and being in the moment and being, you know, looking to support the people that you're working with. They're about, you know, positive agreement and brainstorming and all those things that most people are terrified of doing.
Yep, I agree. And this is a smoking deal, by the way, because it's $20 for these classes for the kids ones and the teen ones, and $95 for the sketch class. Yeah, $95 here. This is great. All about it.
Could you guys teach me to be funny?
Well, I think who said that?
Me.
Oh, no.
He wants to know who he's talking to before he answers.
Yes, of course. No, it's not about teaching somebody to be funny. One of the things that we really focus on is that, like, what's funny is like your point of view, right? So each human being has their own individual, interesting point of view. The way you grew up is different than the way I grew up, which is different than the way Yusuf grew up. And so, like, the way you filter the world is what's interesting. And so the things that you find interesting are different than what I find interesting. And so we actually try not to teach people to be funny. We try and teach them to be honest and real, right? And that's where the most funny stuff comes from, is just the things that you think about that are different than the way that the rest of the world engages, right? So like we there's a show format that we do pretty often, and what we do is we ask someone to come tell a monologue. They just tell a story, or you're just telling a story about your life or something that you've done, or just an interesting anecdote. An interesting story that you remember. And what's funny about interesting stories is that you don't remember not interesting stories, right? You only remember interesting things, right? You forget what you ate last week, but you can definitely tell me the first time that you went to Cheba Hut in Fort Collins because weed was just legalized, right? That's interesting information. And then what we do, what the performers do, is they pick little pieces out of it, just little ideas out of the story, and turn them into their own funny moments. And that's to me, that's like the whole concept behind, like, when you get comfortable with like the basics of what improv is, the funniest stuff is just the natural reactions that people have realistically to moments.
I was just going to mention there was a improv theater in North Carolina in Chapel Hill called Dirty South.
Yeah, Dirty South.
Yeah, I mean, if you know anything about that, stuff got real weird later. But I did have the opportunity to actually be able to be one of those storytellers one night for the improv group who my neighbor was a part of, and that was one. There are a few times I think I can count on one hand where like my jaws were in pain from laughing, but that was one of the funniest things that I ever got to be a part of. To watch just something that's like normal and maybe it's entertaining, but it's not necessarily funny, get turned into just this magical like experience was pretty awesome.
Right, because they take whoever's that story is, and then they go, huh, that's interesting to me in a different way, right? And then they'll turn it on its head or do whatever. And so that's when someone says, can you teach me to be funny? I say everybody is funny, usually. Everybody has funny in them. It's just all about how it gets presented, right? And so it takes a while because, you know, when you're first starting out, it's a lot of like repetition of the ideas. There's a couple of like basic rules that go to improv, which is all about like, this is how you make improv work the best, which is by agreeing to ideas and not saying no to ideas and really listening intently to your partner and taking their idea and making it better. And there's different ways to do that. But once you get comfortable with that, once you get comfortable with those ideas and then you're working with other people that you're comfortable with, man, things can go just to places you would never expect. And those are the sore jaw moments, right? Where you just can't handle it. You can't hold it in anymore because it's so crazy.
Oh, we lost his audio. No,
but he's still funny.
Lost my audio?
You're back.
Okay, good. Sorry, I touched my screen. But anyway, so those are the moments where where it's not really about being funny. It's like being real, and then that is just in itself funny.
Wasn't that I've heard it described for actors that are like dramatic actors doing movies that are comedy and they don't know how to do comedy, and the advice is always actually don't try to be funny, just try to be serious in the character.
Yeah,
and it's not additionally funny, where it's just using that perspective, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I like. I don't know. I always remember this moment. There was a movie. Do you guys remember? Oh, shoot, it was like I can't think of the movie right now, but it had Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell, and it came out in the mid-90s, and it was kind of a ripoff of like all of those like college pot smoker movies. And there's a scene in it where Zach Morris has this, and they've set it up the entire time. He's got this bong that is like his special, valuable, most important thing in his life bong. And there's a moment where it drops and it breaks on the ground. And when the camera pans up to him, it's just like he looks devastated in a way that is so real. Like there's like a tear rolling down his eye. And that's all that was just the moment. And it was like so real that I've never forgotten it. Because those are the funniest moments to me, like real moments. Comedies that like stay realistic and stay in reality and then like punch you in the face with some hilariousness are my favorite kinds.
Absolutely.
I'll say the complete opposite of that, but to your point, like Dude, Where's My Car is the most ridiculous over the top movie ever. However, if you listen to the director's commentary of Dude, Where's My Car, you will see that Sean Astin Scott, or what? Not Sean Astin Scott. Sean, three-name Sean Scott.
William Scott? Is that it?
William Scott. William Scott.
There you go. And Ashton Kutcher are actually those guys. They weren't acting at all. They were just handed some stuff to say as themselves through the course of this movie.
Is it safe to ask what in God's name possibly motivated you to put on Dude, Where's My Car and change the audio track to director's commentary?
Yusuf, I think I know the answer to this. I think it's the night he got 3 sandwiches at Cheba.
Perfect. That's what I figured. I thought that was the case.
That's better than the truth. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Dorian, we're throwing you a curveball. And by the way, guys, if you're opening up a second drink, do it right now, and also support the show. SocialDistanceDrinkingClub.com. You can get one of these sweet shirts. They're really cool. Look at them. They're super cool.
Yeah.
My triple IPA went down real fast.
You can look that good in a drinking club shirt, by the way.
You could. All right, we're going to throw you a curveball. We're going to do a bit of a tweak on our beer name game, but not what you and I talked about originally. Brett has a list of beer names we've come up with over the last few years. And if you want to, you can come up with an improvised description of the beer based on the name.
Okay, I'll try.
All right, let's do it. What do you got, Brett?
Am I doing multiple ones, or am I just picking the best one right now?
Give me one.
Let's throw one.
Let's start with, here's a good one. Dinner and a hangover.
All right, so my job is to say the ingredients of it, or to
Describe it as if you were
dinner and a hangover.
You're my bartender, and you're selling me dinner and a hangover.
All right. Hey, Yusuf, have you tried dinner and a hangover?
No, what is it, Dorian?
Oh, it's great. It's a dark roast. Got a great aftertaste, and at the end of it, you feel a little bit of regret.
I like it.
A lot of beers, though, to be honest with you.
To me, dinner and a hangover was accidentally not ordering beer. Like, just being like, shit, is this a martini? I forgot I was here. Dinner and a hangover. Seltzer with a shot of Jack Daniels on top. Enjoy. It's delicious.
Do you like that accidentally 6th shot of bourbon feeling, but don't have the time?
Try dinner and a hangover.
Do you like that?
Are these real beer names or fake beer names?
No, they're totally
Fake beer.
Oh, fake. Okay.
Yeah, do you like that 6th shot feeling that you can't feel anymore?
Yeah. Did you wander into this bar wondering where your car was and what day of the week it is?
And
might be
dinner and a hangover.
An imperial stout flavored like turkey. Delicious.
No, it's flavored like reheated Little Caesars.
If you started your day with regret and want to recapture that feeling, dinner and a hangover.
Delicious. I wish I had a hotkey for like the pizza noise when you said Little Caesars, because I heard it in my head. They've done a great job of ingraining that into our minds.
That's marketing, baby.
But it's not a Pavlovian response, because when I hear Little Caesars pizza, my mouth actually gets dry.
No, that's the pre-Cheba Hut. That's what that. That's
No,
that.
my bad. Yes, I definitely need a sub in my near future.
Have you seen these new like Pizza Hut commercial? I don't know if it's Pizza Hut or Domino's, where they're like trying to sell you the cheeseburger pizza and the taco pizza. Have you seen it?
No,
I'm gonna look it up right now.
I can't remember if it's Domino's or whatever, but it's the oddest commercial I've ever seen. They're like, "Do you want dinner, but don't want pizza? Try our new burger pizza." And you're like, what are you doing?
It sounds like
the wrong track when you're like, "Do you want dinner but don't want pizza? Get our pizza."
Don't ever eat anything else.
Do you want pizza but don't want pizza? Who are you fucking kidding? You're getting pizza. You might as well get our taco pizza.
Do you want pizza but not actually pizza? Get Domino's.
I can't believe that I actually found this, but they have a cheeseburger pizza and wait for it, a chicken taco pizza.
That's it. Chicken tacos. Yeah.
you know what? If Taco Bell is going to systematically eliminate every food item that made Taco Bell good, somebody needs to pick up the slack. If Domino's Pizza makes a Mexican pizza tomorrow, I'm there. I will eat that shit. And I will drive by Taco Bell like this and tell them that I'm going to Domino's because they done fucked up.
That'll show them.
You know what I like about that is Taco Bell ruined everything that made Taco Bell by not getting rid of any tacos.
It's all this. Everything is a taco at Taco Bell. There's nothing that's not a taco at Taco Bell.
What?
All they did was add a salad menu.
But is a taco a sandwich?
Oh, save that for another show. Save that. Let's save that for No, but Taco Bell eliminated Mexican pizza. They eliminated their steak. They eliminated their pico de gallo. They pulled like 10 items, and they're pulling like another 10 items. They like I truly like. Why do they expect people to eat like the 7th iteration of a chalupa?
And then they added a jalapeno wine, a Taco Bell wine.
3 penis wine.
Great league reference. Thank you.
Speaking of Taco Bell, have you been to the Taco Bell cantinas yet? Anybody? Yeah.
I've been.
It's just Taco Bell, right? I was just discussing this the other day.
It's Taco Bell. The one in Vegas has a ton of touchscreens, and if you're smart enough to remember to do so when you go, you get a Baja Blast and a triple shot of Espolón tequila, and you pour that in there. It's great.
Nice.
You know, touchscreens were so much more appealing before COVID, and now I'm like, ew, touchscreen, gross.
Also, touchscreens were more appealing before I went into Taco Bell.
PJ says at this point, not even Johnny Cash could save Taco Bell.
Oh.
Damn. All right, I love the Mexican pizza, so I will leave that comment there for a moment. The Mexican pizza is gone. I'm not happy about it. It was one of my favorite things to eat.
I definitely ate some Mexican pizzas. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
Yeah.
The rest of you not eating Mexican pizzas?
Not anymore. Like I guess I missed my opportunity.
It's unfortunate.
I'm not eating Taco Bell.
Taco Bell was the first place that my wife and I went on a date in college. We've been married for almost 20 years now. They just sucked the soul out of everything that was good. Like it's not Taco Bell anymore. I do not live
Taco Bell hipster.
I do not live Moss.
Adam Ledford is only a fan of Taco Bell's early albums.
Was it Hey No Quiero Taco Bell now?
Exactly. I only quiero Taco Bell. I barely Little Richard Taco Bell, if we're being honest.
Well, I think we reached the 1 hour mark at a perfect point.
Yeah.
We have nailed this one.
Do you guys pick on Taco Bell at the end of every show?
At this point, Truly's not giving us any money. Taco Bell, you in? Call me up, baby. We got you.
If not, we can get way worse Taco Bell. We're gonna bet.
We can bring back the Shaq commercial where he ended up with taco neck. You guys remember that? Because he had to turn it. And he was taking free throws like this, and that was the excuse for him missing his free throws.
Hey, Taco Bell, if you don't sponsor us, Ledford's going to upgrade his war on you with 2 fingers as he drives by.
Oh, man.
Take that, multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Got him. Yeah, screw you, PepsiCo. I didn't mean that. You're a large corporation and you own a lot of stuff. So not screw you. Never mind, PepsiCo. You're great. We like KFC and Taco Bell, and I think Pizza Hut too, and all that stuff's great.
They own a lot of shit, dude.
Everything. Literally everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think it's time for us to wrap up. Dorian, don't go anywhere when we finish the show. We'll chat with you once we're off the air. Okay. But take a look at the bottom of the screen, everybody. Follow them on Instagram. It's at Cheba Valley for your Valley Cheba Huts, and at NCT Phoenix if you want to look into National Comedy Theater, where I did some comedy with this guy because he taught me everything I know.
Oh.
But like I'm not the best. There's way better. So
I was gonna say we're trying to sell people on the classes, right?
Shut up, Brent.
As good.
That one up there, man.
I think Yusuf is pretty funny. I'm just gonna say it.
We do too.
He's easily top 3 on our 4 hosts.
You don't have to suck up to Yusuf on the show.
Only after the show. After the show.
Got it. That's
not even then.
Dorian, thank you. Guys, thanks for joining us as always. We'll see you guys on Sunday. We're switching to a new schedule, Wednesdays and Sundays. Wednesdays,
Nice.
Sundays. And we'll see
Nice.
you a little halftime action on Sundays.
Super fun. Thank you.
It's between games.
Well, I mean, for us, we'll call it drinking halftime because it's between the day games and the Sunday night game. So we'll see you then. As always, it's been a pleasure. And cheers to you guys for joining us for Social Distance Drinking Club.
Taco
You said
Bell
that-
took our steak, but we still got beef.
Is XFL going to come back?